everyone, welcome to this week's video. Today I have something very exciting to share with you. I got a few new watercolors from Rosa Gallery. I have been waiting since forever to try some of their newest colors, some of them granulating convenience mixes. And I really love Rosa Gallery watercolors. They are made in Ukraine. They are really affordable. They have beautiful quality. It's professional quality, really. And yeah, I was excited to find this for sale on Etsy from a lovely vendor. I'm gonna leave her Etsy store in the description below. She's in Ukraine, and I got this from her at a very reasonable price, so I'm chuffed about that. And yeah, I cannot wait to see what's in here because I don't even remember all the colors I got. Let's see. So we have 6 over here. And here we have 4, so I got 10 new colors. So I've got Indent Gray and Royal Blue, then Cobalt Green Medium, Azure Green, Green Quartz, Azure Blue, Nightfall Violet, Violet Black, Carbon Black, and Cobalt Brown. So I'm gonna unwrap all of these 10 colors and pre-wet them, and then we'll come back to swatch these beauties. So before I continue preparing my swatch sheet over here, I just want to share something with you that I really like about Rosa Gallery watercolors. They come wrapped like I showed you before, and then they have these perforations on the sides, so you can remove the top part, but you are still left with the side part. I have some water here, so I cannot turn too much, but you have the name of the paint over here, and then here you have the pigments and the properties, so like fastness, opacity, and if it's granulating. So this is very nice packaging. I think it saves a lot of time, so you don't need to keep adding this information in the pens. And on the top of that, you can just cut this little part over here. This paper is adhesive. It comes with this little protection here, so it won't stick to the paints, but you can remove it and glue on your swatch page like I'm doing here. So I'm back. I have glued all of my packaging here on the swatch sheet, so it will be easier to identify which color I am swatching. I have my colors here that I added a little drop of water. And now I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Before I do that, I'm just gonna share the brush I'll be using to swatch these colors. This is a Princeton Neptune round brush number 12. I wanted to take a very big and juicy brush to use lots of water, and so to show better the granulating watercolors in this set of 10 that I got. So let's start first with the Indent Gray. This is a very interesting color because the pigment is PB60, which is Indent Blue, but it's supposed to have some gray granulation, which is not usual for this pigment. So I've always wondered if there is an extra pigment that they haven't disclosed in this mix. It's a very rich color. I am trying to remove a little bit here to show you. I see more gray than blue, to be honest. I hope, yeah, maybe now it will be more on focus. It's a very nice color, but it reminds me a bit of Payne's gray bluish. I wonder if as it dries the blue will come across more visible than now that it's wet. I can see a little shadow of blue in the wet part over here, but we'll see. My swatches are really big and out of control today, but I hope it will help to see well the colors. Now let's go to Royal Blue, which I believe is pigment 1, PB1. Yes, that's it. I'm curious about, wow, it looks like an ultramarine, I would say. I was curious about this one because I am a big pigment nerd and I like to try new pigments. I know that this is not as light fast as other blues like ultramarine, for example. It has 2 stars in the Rosa Gallery light fastness, but yeah, it's a nice tone. I was hoping it would be more like Smalt Blue from Winsor & Newton, a bit more purplish maybe, but it's a really nice blue. And it's not granulating, I don't think so. Just checking, it's not indicated as granulating. Now the last blue is Azure Blue, and this is pigments are PG26, PB15:3 and PBK7. So we have Cobalt Green, Phthalo Blue and PB7. I don't remember which pigment it is, but I'll leave the name here on screen. I'll check while I'm editing. Oh, it's a beautiful tone. It reminds me a bit of that new color from one of the most recent releases from Roman Schmoll. I'm not sure if it was Green Indigo the name, something like that. It's a beautiful deep teal tone, and teal is one of my very favorite colors, and I can already see there is the blue, or yeah, the phthalo blue pigment coming up here. I can see the blue shadows. It's really beautiful. So far I think this is my favorite one from the ones I've tried. Let me just double check if this is granulating. Yes, it is. And I think it's because of the green pigment. I'm not sure if PB7 is granulating, but the green for sure is the cobalt green. Now I'm gonna go to the greens. Talking about greens, I have exactly this pigment over here. This is Cobalt Green Medium, PG26. I would say this is either opaque or semi-opaque. Let me check. Yeah, semi-opaque, and it has 3 stars for light fastness. Really beautiful tone. You can see the granulation already starting to happen here. And I can also see that the Indantine gray is drying with a heavy dark granulation, which is very unusual for PB60. Then next we have Azure Green, and this is PB15 column 3, which is phthalo blue, and PG17, which I think is chrome oxide green. Wow, really beautiful tone. I believe this PG17 is also granulating, so I'll check if it's indicated. And yes, it is another granulating color and also semi-opaque, because phthalo blue is transparent, but chrome oxide, if that's the correct pigment from the top of my head, is opaque. Lovely green tone. I was waiting for a very long time to get some of these colors, but they've been out of stock on Arte Miranda for very long. Since they were released, they sold out pretty quickly. So I was happy to find this seller on Etsy, and the prices were amazing. Now we have green quartz, that's another granulating mix, and this is PB29, PG26, and PY150. So we have the cobalt green, ultramarine blue or French ultramarine, and nickel azo yellow, which will be really interesting to see here, because nickel azo yellow, it's a very luminous color and you can always see it in the background even when you use it for mixes. It always adds this glow. It's one of my favorite yellows. And I am gonna add some water here to see. This green is very beautiful. I'm gonna add some more. The granulation also, it's really nice. This would be very nice to use to paint crystals or precious stones. It's such organic granulation, I love it. Now let's move on to the other colors. I have another granulating mix. This is Nightfall Violet, and this is a mix of PG26 again, PR101, and PB29. So you have again the same cobalt green. PR101 is a bit harder to pinpoint. There's many versions of this pigment. I think it's red oxide, if I'm not mistaken. And then what was the last one I mentioned? PB29, so ultramarine or French ultramarine. It's kind of a brownish purple. I'm gonna add some water to encourage the granulation, and my swatches are really irregular today. I hope you don't mind. I didn't have a specific plan for it. I'm just going with the flow here. And yeah, it's a beautiful color, and I think it's gonna change as it dries. For now it looks a bit like a perylene violet type of color. There's some darker tones appearing here in the granulation, so we'll see. Then we have another violet that's called Violet Black, and this is PV19, PBK7 and PR108. So PR108 I believe is cadmium red, and we have the PBK7 again, and PV19, which is quinacridone pink, or could be also the violet version. There's a more violet version of PV19, and this also is a very beautiful purple. It's muted. And it should be granulating as well because it has French ultramarine. Really love this color. It's kind of a aubergine tone. And my swatch, it's off the charts. Just gonna fix this one here. It's bothering me that it's drying a bit weird here, so let's hope. Yeah, but it's beautiful, the granulation. Both have this dark granulation, and they are both indicated as granulating as well. Then last but not least, we have Cobalt Brown and Carbon Black. Cobalt Brown is one of the recent releases, I believe. I have Cobalt Gray and I really like it, so I was curious to test Cobalt Brown. I didn't really get on the trend of the super granulating colors from Schmincke because they were very pricey as well, so I preferred to buy the single pigments tubes. But Rosa Gallery is so affordable that I really enjoy buying these convenience mixes. They are fun to try. This is really beautiful. I haven't mentioned the pigments, but I bet there is some green pigments because I can see a mix of green and red. So we have PG26 and PR108. So indeed we have cadmium red and cobalt green, and both are granulating pigments, I believe. I'm gonna double check. And they are beautiful together. I really love this. Cannot wait to see this dry. And last but not least, we have Carbon Black. Let me just check the pigment. This is PBK7 and PY42. This is a color that I didn't pay much attention until I watched a video from Eve Bolt where she swatched the whole Rosa Gallery catalog, and she mentioned that this one has a beautiful granulation. So I took the chance that I was already ordering the other colors to see this one in person. We'll see how it dries. So here we have my humongous swatching of these new colors. As usual, I'm gonna let them dry, then I'm gonna show you close up and share my thoughts. And yeah, I hope you are here, and I will see you soon. So I'm back, and so is the sun, as you can see here. Now I'm gonna show you a close-up of the colors in sunlight and shadow. You may notice I have a few hearts on the page. This indicates they were my favorite colors from the batch. So I really love, like I indicated here, the carbon black, the cobalt brown, the green quartz, cobalt green medium, and the nightfall violet. These were my favorites. What I really like about these colors is that they have this granulation. Oops, I thought this was dry, but it wasn't, as you can see here. But anyhow, this has this granulation, which I find quite natural looking. Look at how gorgeous this is for stones. Also this one, very organic type of granulation, unlike colors like this, for example, or this, which happens when you add Mars black or another black granulating pigment together with a colored pigment. You do get granulation, but to me it sounds a bit more artificial, a bit less natural, even though this one is very nice also. But you see, it's a bit hard to explain, but it's not as well integrated as in the other colors. So here you see the granulation, but it's a bit harder to separate one color from another, while here you can clearly see there is blue and there is black, and here there is like this purplish color, and then there's the dark color. So I tend to like more colors that have this more complex granulation that looks a bit more natural. So that's why these are my favorites. And yeah, I am curious to know what you think, if you have a favorite from these, if you have ever tried one of these colors or want to try. Let me know in the comments what you think about Rosa Gallery in general, and don't forget to leave me that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you here soon. Bye!